I'm back with the first poem from your Flamingo textbook, My Mother at 66. I insist I get your complete concentration through the session as this is an important topic in your syllabus. Since I'm presenting the poem for the first time to you, I will be specific in the details by upskilling you with the content so that you understand and learn better. With a hello to you, I will take you forward. Anytime you are learning a poem, remember you need to know the author, the poetic device, and the theme. So, who is the poet here? It is Kamla Das, better known by a pen name Madhavi Kuti. She is an Indian poetess and a novelist too. Her writing is so very beautiful and sensitive that she expresses her inner feeling. In this poem, My Mother at 66, she talks about her mother, a feeling towards her mother, and the fear that she might lose her mother sometime. While I say this word mother, let's hold to our hearts and realize how beautiful this word is. Mother, a woman chosen by God to give birth to his children. A unique personality, and we find no replacement for her. Her life begins here and ends here. But for a child, the warmth that it gets from its mother is so very special and unconditional. For whatever we are today, good or bad, it's all because of the effort that the mother puts behind a child. And her love is eternal from birth to death. Why do I say this? This is because during the journey of our life, we get attached to our mother that we fear that someday there's going to be a detachment. Why talk about the human mothers only? Let's look at the birds and the animal kingdom too. Look at the small one, though so small and innocent, but carries a complete trust on its mother. Or the cub over here, sitting on the head of the mama. Is the mother irritated? No. She shows so much of tolerance, isn't it? Or the mother being the best friend of the child. The calf over here follows the mother. That means to say that the companionship that the mother gives for the child is something very special. Or at times, the burden that the mother carries on her, what at any time and always, is something to be appreciated. Before going into the details of the poem, let's understand what does poetic devices mean. It is an essential tool that the poet uses to enhance a poem, to give more meaning to a poem, to make it more interesting to the reader. So what are the poetic devices in this poem? Let's look at that. Let's look at the poetic devices. The first one is here for you, simile. What do you mean by simile? Comparison of two objects or comparing two things. For example, here the mango. The sweetness of the mango is compared to that of honey. The mango is as sweet as honey. So what do you mean by simile? It is a figure of speech or expression that compares two different things using the words as or like. Using the words as or like. That is simile. Next, let's look at what is personification. This is a figure of speech which gives human qualities to objects and things. For example, look at here, the lightning danced across the sky. Now, danced is a human quality, isn't it? Dancing is a human quality. So here, personification means giving human qualities to animals or objects. the figure of speech that gives the human qualities to animals and objects is called as personification. Moving forward, what is a metaphor? It is also a figure of speech, but here it compares directly. When I say that, look at this, you are my sunshine. When I say you are my sunshine, whatever is a sun, it has been compared to you. The sun is bright, the sun is smiling. So that is you for me. So what is a metaphor? It is a direct comparison between two things. Direct comparison between two things or two objects. Now let's see what is repetition. What is repetition? Repeating something. It's a figure of speech where the words are repeated at a certain space. Now why are the words repeated? It's because so that it emphasizes what the speaker is speaking, or it brings in more emotion or more meaning to whatever the speaker is speaking. Now look at this here. It is a figure of speech where words are repeated in order to emphasize. For example, you have seen, you know what's happening with SpaceX, isn't it? Earlier, they were working for decades to make a reusable rocket. But were they successful? No. But did they leave it at that point of time? No, isn't it? So they tried and tried until they succeeded. Repeating, try and try until you succeed. Now, this will be very interesting for you. The recently launched rockets are reusable. So by this, we emphasize, okay, after trying and trying. So that word repeating is emphasizing. So that is exactly what repetition is. Next, let's look at what does imagery mean. When I say imagery, you're imagining something, right? Now, for example, when I say a full moon in a black sky, you're imagining a black sky and a full moon. So, this appeals to the human senses. Your senses here is visual. The senses could be hearing or smelling or tasting. So, imagery means a descriptive writing that appeals to the senses. By this, I have told you 5 poetic devices: simile, metaphor, personification, repetition and imagery. Moving forward, let's see how does My Mother at 66 look like. My Mother at 66 is a beautiful poem where the poet brings in irony of human relationships. If you observe the poem is written in a single sentence, starting from driving from my parents' home till smile and smile and smile. She has not used more punctuations except commas. It is like a variety of ideas weaved in a single thread. What does the poem symbolize? It symbolizes the fast pace of life and inevitable death of our childhood, youth and our loved ones. What is the significance of the poem? It is realization. The poet realizes that a mother is old and worn out and at any time she is going to lose her. So with this, advanced aging and fear is a central theme of the poem. The whole poem revolves around the theme, advanced aging associated with fear and separation. As you go into the details of the poem, you will get to see more comparisons and contrasts. Let me now take you through the lines. Dear children, I will be off screen for a while. I need your attention on the screen so that you will not miss out the explanation. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Driving from my parents' home. Here, my is the poetess Kamla Das. She explains that she had gone to visit her parents, and after that, on a Friday morning, while she was driving back to the airport, her mother was seated in the car along with her to see her off at the airport. When the poet looked at her mother beside her, she had dozed. Here, doze means sleep. Open mouthed means she was sleeping with opening her mouth little. Ashen means ash, like grey color, pale and dull. And corpse means dead body, something which is lifeless. Her mother was sleeping with open mouth, and further, the poet explains that her color of her mother's face was like that of ash, and that was compared to a dead body which looked so very lifeless. This is when she realized with pain how old and worn out her mother was. Not to keep it worrying, she wanted to take the thought away from her mind. Put that thought away means keep away from the disturbances that is worrying. So, what does she do? Let us look at it. Before that, let's recap the meanings. Doze means sleep. Ashen is pale. Corpse means dead body. Now, what are the poetic device in this stanza? Ashen like that of a corpse. This is a simile. So please remember, ashen like that of a corpse is a simile. Moving to the next stanza. And looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan. She diverted her thought, looking outside. What did she see? The young trees that were also stationed appeared to look like as if it was running very fast. Here, sprinting means running. This is what happens. While you're moving in a car, you feel that the trees are also moving with you, isn't it? The merry children were running out of their house. Merry here means happy. The happy children were running out. Spilling means running with full energy and enthusiasm. All these things were full of energy. So look at the contrast. Inside the car, it was all slowed down, dull and lifeless. But as she looks outside, it was completely different. It was fast, energetic, and everything was happy. While she reaches the airport, after security check, she looks back at her mother. She noticed her mother's aging face looked dull, pale, and weak. Here, wan means pale and weak. So let's relook at the meanings. Sprinting means running. Spilling out is coming out with energy, and wan is pale. So before moving to the next stanza, what is the poetic device of this stanza? Looked out at the young sprinting trees. Trees sprinting, it is personification. And merry children spilling out of their homes is imagery. So you have two poetic devices here, personification and imagery. Let's look at what is in the next stanza. Pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Pale as late winter's moon. Here, pale means dull. Late winter's moon. Something which is fading and dull. The poet compares her mother to winter's moon. Not shining, it's the last season, it's fading and it is very dull. It has lost its youth. This is very painful to the poet. This is the same feeling she used to feel during her childhood, a pain of separating from her mother. Keeping her feeling to herself, she says with a smile, "See you soon, Amma." Here, smile and smile and smile. All the three smiles has got different meaning, different feeling and different emotions. A smile of realization, knowing that her mother is old and about to die. A smile of fear, to see her mother more pale and weak, and a smile of emotion that she doubted if she can see her mother again at all. So, pale means dull. Winter's moon means fading, and ache means pain. So, this being the last stanza, let us see what is the poetic device that the poet uses here. Pale as a late winter's moon is a simile, and smile and smile and smile is repetition. Now, since you have understood the poem, let us look at how are you tested with the questions. Have a look at it here. Type 1 are your extract questions. When I say extract, a part of a poem is extracted and questions are based on it. Let's look at what are the kinds of questions for this extract. Who is my here? Identify the poetic device. What was the old familiar ache of the poet? Now, when I say, who was my here? Who was my here? It was the poetess Kamala Das. What was the poetic device? It was smile, smile and smile. It is repetition. And then, what was the old familiar ache? It was the childhood fear. So this way you can expect 1 mark question. So here, since you have 3 questions, this is marked for 3. I hope you got me right. Moving on, let us see few of your short answer questions. So there will be all these kinds of questions. For example, the theme, how did the mother look? How was the mother described in the beginning and in the end? What did the poet do to put away her thoughts or to put away her worries? Then, what was the poet's pain? So, like this, you will have lots of questions in between the lines. So, that is the reason you need to understand while you read the line by line. Okay, so please get back to the explanation so that it is simpler for you to answer. So that being said, you will have extract questions and you will have short answer questions. Let's revise. What did we learn today? You got to know about the author, the theme, the significance and the distinctive features of the poem, the contrast and the comparison, the realization and the poetic devices, the words in context and question and answers. To conclude with a thank you, I hope the poem has reminded you with a familial bond. For having given me a lovely you, please pass on my hugs to your moms. See you soon in my next session advertisement. Until then, all smiles to you. Bye-bye.